This is the second romance horror film that's come out in the last week that has been surprising to me for being more about romance. I rest assured that there really can't be things like this out there because mostly Donald Trump has been in charge of America for like 5 years going on now. And there's just no way that he wouldn't have accidentally let out all of these massive state secrets if, like, you've heard him just ramble on, right? Like, there's no way he wouldn't have given up all of this stuff. The Gorge stars Milesteller and Anya Taylor-Joy, two great actors who are just so damn attractive, and they are the two best snipers in the world who will do anything for their governments and have achieved many incredible things each. Anyway, they're sent on a mission where their job is to look at a gorge for a year, and then they'll be shot at the end of the year. They don't know that, though, of course. I wouldn't say, like, the two best snipers in the world. It's not the best resource allocation, is it? No. So he's, I don't know, he's got, like, PTSD. A mental health issue is all we need for a straight white man to be relatable nowadays, right? And she's got a dying dad. Mental health issue is all we need for a straight white woman to be relatable now, right? Yeah. Honestly, there is a plot here. These two are just so attractive that I wasn't paying attention to it. And then when I did try and finally look away from them and figure it out, well, you see, okay, there's no plot. They're great, and I just wanted to like this film enough that I was willing to overlook one or two problems, but there's more than one or two problems. The story is very confusing, yeah, and I gotta say, they tease this whole thing early on about the Gorge maybe being like a gateway to hell. Nobody really knows what it is. The governments of the world have been working together to guard it for decades. All of that, I was like, oh my god, that is metal as fuck as an idea. And then the first scene where they actually are like fighting the monsters and helping each other. Whoa! Next level. Amazing stuff. And then it devolves into like a Love Actually scene / Taylor Swift music video from 2010. And that was very jarring. I recently talked about Hard Eyes, which was amazing. And it was a great blending of like comedy and horror and romance. And I complimented it on managing to feel like it was kind of being all of those things at once. I was really impressed by that. This is trying to be romance and horror and action. But it's never more than one of those things at a time. And that is an issue. The thing is, it's trying to be all of these things, and then it very much in the second half of the film throws romance and horror pretty much out of the cart. And it's just a full-on action film for the second hour, really. And that is a real shame, because I felt like it was kind of better at doing the elements, especially like the horror-y bits that it was doing and all the setup and the mystery. I thought all of that was a lot better. And, you know, it's difficult when you've got something like that, which could go in so many directions, to kind of stick the landing in the second half of the film, but they didn't. It gets so corny at certain points, which is something I just couldn't have believed. And even watching the first, like, half hour, I could hardly believe that it gets that level of, like, gushy-mushy, weird and corny. It feels like a video game adaptation from 2003. Like, it's just such a weird vibe to it. I can't quite figure it out. The Gorge has a couple of Gorge actors in it and a couple of Gorge scenes. But overall, it's just, I don't know, it feels like they came up with this initial idea and that took all of their brain power. And then they just did the simplest, dumbest stuff they could basically think of from there. And it's such a shame. I just don't understand how any of this happened, basically, yeah. Also, Miles Teller gets stuck for a year only being able to talk to one person, and it's Anya Taylor-Joy. Man, I'm giving Hey, I Saw You From Across the Gorge 2.5 stars. That is one of the disappointments of the year for me so far, it really is. I was low-key super excited for it, probably more than I will be for almost any other streaming film this year. I felt the vibe was going to be so good, and it just really... It's not complete crap, that's the thing, it just kind of falls quite flat. And that's somehow more disappointing than being complete crap. Subscribe for more hard truths.